Ali, how did you specifically structure the business continuity plan at ChannelAdvisor?
Oh, I think any solid business continuity plan has to start with understanding the purpose, and that's to be prepared and able to return to operations as quickly as possible in the event of an outage. And we have to plan for the worst case scenario while obviously hoping that it never occurs. So the first thing we have to have is a playbook. We create a playbook that's both virtual and printed. You never know, the internet could be down. You don't want to rely on just a Google Doc to search for someone's phone number. We define the purpose of the plan and the team members responsible for carrying out their roles, along with at least one backup for each critical leader in the company and each member of the business continuity team. As a result of COVID-19, we actually extended that to a second backup for every role when we began to think through the potential infection rate impact. And we've included in that playbook a cheat sheet of everyone's mobile contact number that we carry around with us. The next step is having a communication plan, as Beth mentioned earlier. So we define some communication protocols that includes emails, phone, chat, a pager software, and we lay out a basic checklist to follow in the event of an incident, including who to contact and next steps to take in certain types of emergencies. It's important too to also document each type of disaster or incident that you might expect, because they might require a different response. And so we've documented those we can imagine or we think are likely or highly impactful to occur. We had each business unit also assess their plan to return to operations in the event of an outage. For example, account management would probably have an entirely different plan than the engineering team. And we also identified critical roles within the company, and we made sure that there were at least 2 other resources that can perform that function and have appropriate documentation. Now, the playbook takes a long time to develop, and it needs to be a living document. We review it periodically, and we update it for current people, current processes, current technologies. I would say don't assume you can do this in a week. We're still reassessing portions of this plan 8 weeks into this quote unquote incident. And the last thing, and Beth mentioned this a bit in her last question, is you have to practice your response. So just like any first responder team, it's best to have practiced the steps regularly so that you can call them to mind under the stress of a real incident. So we'll create fake issue scenarios to walk through on a regular cadence, and it helps us build muscle memory of how to call up the team and respond to those very critical first steps. And then from there, we can go back to the documentation and work our way through the plan